everyone. Welcome to Playtime, a show about sports and parenting and everything in between. My name's Kristen Hewitt, but today I'm super excited to be talking to someone who is a rising star in the sports broadcasting world. She used to be a radio host down here in Miami, and now she's moved to the bright lights of LA to moderate her own show on Fox Sports 1 with Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless. Joy Taylor, thanks for taking the time to chat with me today.
Thanks for having me. It's good to see you, Kristen.
You too as well. So Joy, your life has been a whirlwind. You got married, you moved to LA, you've been doing a potpourri of jobs for Fox Sports, but now you've landed in a pretty big job. How are you enjoying LA? I know it's a bit of a transition moving out there.
I like it. It was hard at first, as you mentioned. I got married in February, and then 2 weeks later moved across the country. So that was a little difficult, pretty crazy. But that's how life is. You can't plan it. So I like it though. It's hard getting away from Miami. I miss the beaches very much of South Florida. The beach is a little colder here. I'm not into the water so much out here, but the weather is amazing. It really is. There's no humidity and it's sunny every day, and it's cool. It's being in LA is a very different experience for me, and I like new adventures and trying out new places. So I'm liking it a lot.
That's awesome. Okay, so we all really want to hear the inside scoop because those of us in Miami weren't huge Skip Bayless fans when he was really harsh on the Heat, during the LeBron years. So we want the inside scoop. What's he really like to work with?
The truth about Skip is a very, very sweet and extremely passionate person about what he does. He is said to be, by everyone that works with him, the hardest working guy in the business. And from what I've seen from him so far, he really is. He's up at 2 o'clock in the morning on the treadmill, studying and researching everything that goes into the show. And he really cares about the show so much. So he's been great to me. The big secret is that he's really a big sweetheart. He's very, very nice and kind person to everyone that he works with.
All right, well, with all due respect, enough about Skip. We want to hear from you because we all know you in South Florida. You're very down to earth. We've got a lot of people in South Florida have gotten to know you, but those on the national stage are just getting to meet you. So I thought it'd be fun to do kind of 10 things people don't know about Joy Taylor. And I don't know, you might have to help me out here because I don't know everything about you either. So we're just going to do this quick and easy, but let's get to know Joy, okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's start with an easy one. Dogs or cats?
So we recently got a puppy, which we unfortunately couldn't bring to LA with us because if you don't know much about LA, the cost of living here is very expensive for very small places. And she was a boxer, so she would have eaten a hole in the floor here. So she's with my in-laws in Florida, living a great life. But she is tough, and having a puppy is so hard. So I think now I'm a cat person.
All right, now I don't want to get a puppy after hearing that, but I'll have to rethink it. All right, well, you just laughed, so I wanted to ask you about that distinctive laugh because I love that they showcased your laugh actually in one of those texting promos for your show. But where do you get your distinctive laugh from? Have you inherited it from anyone in your family?
I don't think so. I would always get teased by my younger sister about my laugh because it's very cackly and like, I don't know witch-like, I guess, but I've just kind of embraced it now. It's kind of a signature thing. Some people find it annoying. Some people kind of find it contagious and funny, but it's really hard to fake a good laugh. Like, so I just kind of just go with my natural laugh, and then people know that I really think that something's funny. So I've just embraced it.
That was a good fake laugh, by the way. All right. All right, sports you played in high school and college were?
I ran track and played basketball for most of my young life. I started in, I want to say 5th grade. I also played volleyball and soccer. I ran track in college. I was a recruited Division I track athlete, sprinter, to be specific. And so I ran for a year in college. Being a college athlete was not for me. It's very, very hard to balance being a college student and being an athlete. So I always commend them. And also, I just wasn't good enough to go to the Olympics, and I wasn't studying, any sort of like physical therapy or, sports management or anything like that. So it was too much for me, but I loved it. And I loved playing sports growing up. And I played soccer well into adulthood until a few years ago when I tore my ACL, which grown up who's not an athlete, tearing your ACL is extremely inconvenient. It did put a better perspective on those type of injuries for me, though, in sports, because, I mean, wow, when you're just a regular person, having an injury like that is just crazy.
Yeah, imagine having to get back on the court in the NBA Finals after.
Right. Well, I mean, when you have the best doctors and rehab and, it's your job to get better, it's totally different than like having to balance life and going to rehab a couple of days a week. So my soccer days are over, but those are the sports I played, yeah.
Okay, we're getting off track. All right, TV. Well, let's not talk about sports. TV shows. What are you watching when you're not watching sports? Favorite show?
I love Law and Order SVU. It's my obsession, and Say Yes to the Dress. I can binge watch those, even though like I'm already married, so I don't know what the deal is, but I just love watching people pick out their wedding dresses. It's so fun.
Joy, you're my spirit animal. I wrote an entire blog on why I'm obsessed with Say Yes to the Dress. I want to get married again just so I can go to Kleinfeld's. It's
so fun. It's so fun to pick out your wedding dress. I probably tried on like 40, even though the second one that I tried on was the one I ended up getting.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Oh, we'll have to talk about that more later. Okay, favorite social media platform and why?
Twitter was my favorite because I really do like talking to people and interacting with fans and having conversations. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use it as much anymore because it's very hard to navigate having, conversations and debates with fans on Twitter and the just ridiculous amount of trolls that are out there. Which, whether I want to admit it or not, reading a lot of negativity about yourself eventually gets into your psyche. So I try to avoid it. And I like Facebook, even though I really can't wait for the election to be over so that I can thoroughly enjoy it again. But I would say Facebook now more than Twitter.
Okay. What would you rather wear, stilettos or running shoes?
I've become much more of a running shoes person, especially now that I'm in LA. In Miami, everyone gets dressed up all the time, and the very underrated part of LA is that you can literally wear whatever you want. You can wear out on a Friday night, you can wear tennis shoes and shorts or flip-flops and a sundress or get completely dressed up, and it doesn't matter. You can wear whatever you want. No one cares.
Finish this sentence. Family means what to me?
Family is everything to me. My family is my rock. I love my brothers and sisters, lots of them. And my mom is awesome. They're all so supportive of me, and we've all been through a lot together. So we all have each other's back. So they're my everything.
And that
leads
awesome. Me to the next question. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
So I have 4 sisters and 2 brothers, 2 older sisters, 2 younger sisters, a younger brother and an older brother, obviously, who is Jason Taylor, and the Dolphins helmet behind you, which I'm so excited that they're bringing the throwback uniforms back this year.
Okay, and do you still have a burger at Dolphin Stadium, by the way? This wasn't one of the questions, but there is a Joy Burger, right? Or no, is it gone?
There was a Joy Burger. Since I have left town, they've removed the Joy Burger from what is now the Hard Rock Stadium, which I haven't seen completed yet, but it looks awesome on all the pictures. And I got a tour before I left when they were still in construction. So I'm excited to get back and see the stadium now, which I was very happy to hear that they were renovating. But no, the Joy Burger is not there anymore. Maybe in a few years when I'm big time, they'll bring it back. We'll see. Or maybe we can just start a petition, start bugging them, start tweeting the Dolphins to bring back the Joy Burger.
Yeah, well, if you go back on Twitter, I'll help you do that, okay? All right, favorite quote or inspirational saying that you live by? Is there one saying that you kind of is your mantra of your life?
I don't know that it's so much a quote as just a piece of advice that I got when I was kind of struggling and in between things and really just starting out in the business. I had obviously a lot of goals and a lot of aspirations, but not a lot of focus. And just a piece of advice that I got was to put all my energy into the things that I want. Set a goal and then put your energy towards it. I think a big problem that a lot of people have just in general and in all areas of life, whether it's, fitness or your career or relationships, people don't have an actual goal. They just say oh, I want to be successful, or I want to be this, or I want to be that. But they don't know, if you want to be on television as a sports personality, you should be putting all of your energy into things that are going to help you get there, like interning and blogging and networking with people and watching sports television and, taking notes and letting everyone know this is what you want to do, because focus is really the biggest thing towards becoming successful. And for whatever reason, when I was given that piece of advice at that point in my life, it resonated with me, and I've not stopped I've kept on that path towards those goals ever since then. And now I'm in LA on Undisputed in FS1. And I really, really do believe that it's because I had a goal and I did not let things distract me from it. Oh, maybe I'll try this or maybe I'll try that. Like, no, this is what I want to do. I'm going to put everything, all my effort and time and energy into that and focusing on that. And I really do think if anything that you want, if you do put all of your energy into it, it'll happen for you.
Well, Joy, you just basically answered my last question, because I was going to ask you, you and I were one of the only women on the crew, right? We work with a lot of men. I was going to ask you what advice you have for young women who are coming up in the sports business, but you basically just said it. Intern, network, put yourself out there with a digital presence, blogging, YouTube, and like you said, what you focus on will grow. So if that's what you want, you have to go for it. Anything else you want to add there, or did you pretty much cover it already?
No, absolutely. I get asked a lot, as I'm sure you do as well. And, the digital platforms and blogging is free. So it's such a great tool to practice your writing, which if you've ever been to any sort of broadcasting school or communication school, all of the professors are constantly telling you that you need to write, you have to write, you have to write, you have to write. And you really do. I still write. I write my scripts today on the network level. So you have to be able to write. It's such an important thing. So blogging is really helpful, and YouTube is really helpful to polish your skills. Networking is the biggest. So you should always be out there meeting people and being professional and following up with them, emailing them, but also back to my original point, knowing what you want to do. You can't be like, well, I think I want to do this or I want to do that. That it's hard for people to help you when they don't know what they can do to help you. So if you say, I want to be a sideline reporter, or I want to be a in-studio host, or I want to be, a brand ambassador, whatever it is that you want to do, you really have to be able to say, this is what I want to do. Can you help me? Because otherwise people don't know what to help you, what they can do to help you to get to that point. And the other thing I would say, especially for young women, is you just got to be really, really good. Like, you really have to be better than you think you need to be, and always be on time or be early. And
always put in the extra hours. Really, I mean, I interned for free for 2 years, and I made maybe $200-300 a month living at home with mom and dad. I was 23 years old, but guess what? I got hired by the Magic right out of school, hired by Sunshine Network. 19 years later, yes, folks, I'm that old. I'm still doing it.
Yep.
Am I at Joy's level? No, but I chose to have a family, so that was my path, but we all have different paths, and like Joy said, you have to know what you want to do, and that's great advice. Absolutely. And I have to say, Joy, you always continue to inspire me, because I love that quote, what you focus on grows, and you've helped me a lot focus on my digital platform, so I appreciate that as well. So thank you for inspiring so many of us. Joy, let's just give you a little big promo here. Undisputed, it's at Undisputed on Twitter. It airs every day at 9 or 9:30 on Fox Sports 1.
9:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Fox Sports 1, Monday through Friday. You can follow on Twitter, as Kristen said, at Undisputed, on Instagram, Undisputed on FS1, and on Facebook, Undisputed on FS1. And you can follow me on Facebook as well at facebook.com/Joy Taylor Media, and on Twitter and Instagram at Joy Taylor Talks.
And everybody, if you're watching, please subscribe, and thanks so much for watching Playtime. We'll see you next time.